Not that people know.
Back again for another episode of the Santa Boot First podcast. Back in to talk about the Sixers, what the postseason has for us, and just post-mortem of this past season. Stick around for Santa Boot First.
From P-H-I-L-A period, P-A period, Eve they hearing it, believe they
Good evening and welcome to another episode of the Santa Boot First podcast, coming to you live from beautiful downtown Willow Grove, the Crack Bell Production Studios on this fantastic Thursday evening. This is Jim Marcus. To my right in the room, we got the Brody man. What's going on, bud?
What's up?
To his right, the elder statesman, Deke.
Hello there.
What's up?
James.
Boo.
Don't be jealous.
To his right.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
It's the oldest line ever.
Although could have said it.
Deke's fault.
I'm gonna do a little shimmy.
To Deke's right, we got Ryan Smith. Smitty. What's
Yo,
up, Smitty?
what's up, man?
And behind the glass, we got Nate Moss. Nate keeping us live. What's going on, Nate? He gets the cheer.
I
All
get
right,
the
all
cheers.
right. We don't have DJ in here tonight. And,
Nope.
I was going to ask for an apology. And I'm still going to ask for an apology next time he's in here.
Maybe he'll tune in.
Will he tune in? I want an apology for Ben Simmons. He's been supporting him forever. He finally convinced me to support Ben Simmons. And look what he did to us.
And then look what happened.
And I'm going to apologize because I said the Hawks stink. There's no chance. Sixers in 5. And I'm
Wait, then it was 6.
then it was
Then
7.
Then you
then
crossed
it
out the 6,
then
and
it
then
was
it was
9,
7.
but they wouldn't give us the extra games. So yeah, it is what it is. And you know what? I want everybody to be open on this show and have open minds, and we can accept failure.
Open heart.
Open heart. We can accept failure. I was wrong. I'm a big enough man to admit my mistakes. I still think the Hawks stink, but they were the better team. And I want to get into, were they the better team? What happened? So, bodies on the table, boys. What happened in this playoff series? There's plenty of things we can point to. I've already mentioned Ben. Were the Hawks a better team? Was it Doc? Was it something else? Where are we at?
Trey Stinking Young happened to start.
Okay.
Referees happened. I think Joel's knee was really bothering him more than he ever let on, because he just simply wasn't the same player that he was in the first round.
Yeah.
And during the regular season. And Ben, Doc had a lot to do with it. I heard today on the radio going to work, they specifically cited him for losing games 1 and 5.
Ben?
No,
Or
Doc.
Doc.
Doc, yes. And I definitely agree he lost this game 1 without making those switches on defense after it became obvious that Green could not cover Young.
Mm-hmm.
And there were a couple other things that happened. There wasn't enough bench support. Steph Curry, he stepped up, or Steph Curry, he stepped up and really did a phenomenal job for most of the time. But there wasn't, they obviously lost Green with the injury, and there just wasn't enough help off the bench, and Embiid got beat up and worn down as the series went on, and all those things combined led to a total team loss.
What are your thoughts, man?
As I'm sitting here 5 days now, still, I'm in complete shock. I mean, how does a number 1 seed, number 1, before I even get to issues, I just want to, how does a number 1 seed lose 3 times at home when they've had one of the best records in the NBA the last 2 years? How also does a number 1 seed take their foot off the gas when you have your team, game 4, you're up 18 going into the third quarter, you lose. Then you come back game 5 and you show up for 3 quarters, you're up 28 and you fall apart. I'm beside myself still. I think it's more pissed off watching the games last night that the Sixers aren't in it, and the fact that Atlanta's up 1-0 right now in that series. I can't help but say I still think we're the better team. We should have had them out in 5, in 6. And I think Danny Green had a lot to. I think Danny Green was right when he said that this team looked past the Nets and went right to the Hawks. But I think there's blame to go around like everywhere. First of all, Doc rotations were awful, right? Like, let's talk about even Game 7. Why the hell have you not been playing Shake Milton? And then the beginning of the fourth quarter, you decide to put him on the court, right? Let's also talk about, obviously, Simmons. We know Simmons is, scared of his own shadow right now, whatever it is, mental health, whatever it is, can't make free throws. He's a huge problem. But also, I want people to realize that as much as Embiid played at an MVP level this year, you can't have 8 turnovers in Game 6 and 7. And also, you're 7'2". You should not be standing at the 3-point line after the game also saying, well, I'm still a guard.
Yeah.
When all you need to do is pound yourself in the middle and Capella can't stop you.
Yeah, we've been saying that about Embiid for how long?
Yeah,
like
forever. I've been screaming for him to play down on the low block.
And as much as like Doc and Embiid might have been right at the end of the game, like throwing Ben under the bus, I don't think that's how you do it as a team. Like, I think Doc's track record is what it is. This is now 2 years in a row where he's blown leads. And then Embiid wants to sit there. And look, Ben taking that dunk, didn't take that dunk is fine. That was momentum. But Joel, let's not forget there's a 2-point game and you're trying to do too much and you turn the ball over as well. I mean, this team is just like I've said to you guys before in this chat, like nobody on this team has the mentality of like, I'm going to rip your heart out at all costs. They don't have somebody like that. They think Tobias, Ben, they think that they can just show up. They were the number 1 seed all year. Oh, we have home. And guess what? They found out if you don't want it much hard enough, I don't care how good you are, you're going to lose. And that's what happened to the Sixers.
Yeah, they don't have that Mamba mentality.
Right.
None of them do.
Right.
I wonder if it was a little bit, they were smelling themselves a little bit, right?
That's what Danny
Yes,
Green
they-
flat out
yes.
said on Monday.
They were looking past, thinking, oh, look, we got Milwaukee.
I don't know how you
Let's start
can't.
thinking about Milwaukee.
I don't know how you can't say that if you look at game like. And here's the other part: how the hell does the team wake up from a 12 to 14 point lead in Game 6, come back and win on their own court, and then come and throw an egg on Sun? Like, and the other part about it is Trae Young didn't even shoot well, and we still lost. We let. Take a line from DJ. Somebody that looks like they just came out of the Catholic League and Kevin Herter beat us. And that's the problem I have with Doc. I have a huge problem with Doc there because he's stuck with Seth Curry and he's stuck with Korkmaz and he watched them get roasted and he didn't do anything about it. That's coaching.
He needed the offense that Curry was bringing because there wasn't a whole lot of options on the floor.
I agree with you. Then bring Thibault and have Thibault
Right,
guard
yeah,
him.
yes,
And why
Thibault should've got
is
more
Curry
minutes.
not guarding Bogdanovich with a bum knee?
Yeah.
Do you think Doc is really running an offense?
No.
I hate to say that because he's a head coach in the NBA, but it's like you say, there's certain points of the game where you go, why are you guys coming down and just chucking the ball up? You don't need to do this. And to your point of being a killer, Joel should be the killer on this team.
He should be the killer, but he shouldn't be the killer
on this
from the perimeter. He shouldn't be the killer from fadeaways. He should be bumping his ass, in the lane and dunking the ball or going right to the basket where Capella can't stop you. And I don't want to hear about anything with Simmons with the spacing. Joel Embiid's a center.
Yeah.
And that's another thing, too. If Embiid doesn't have enough spacing with Simmons, then guess what? Doc Rivers needs to be man enough to bench him and put Maxey out on that court.
Well, Morey, he's not Morey's guy, right? Morey didn't.
None of these guys are Morey's
So we'll
guy.
see what
I
that
mean,
means.
right. I don't know. So much blame to go around.
Do you have something?
Yeah. I think one of the biggest problems was the defense. Like the alley-oops they were letting up. The Trae Young, I mean, he's a good shooter, but he shouldn't be able to go he was going
Those little drops.
yeah, he would go as
Floaters.
far away as he could from the 3-point line, just make it.
Too.
Like that one dunk that John Collins did on Embiid, that shouldn't be happening. They shouldn't be allowing that.
You're right.
Shouldn't be happening.
Especially when he's bigger.
Couple
And yeah.
things. First of all, DJ's finally watching.
Is he?
And Joe White's looking for old school basketball. He wants late 80s, 90s
I
basketball.
totally agree. They would have put him away if it was old school basketball. Pound.
Oh, yeah.
Why the hell are you up 28 still shooting 3-pointers? Why are you up 18 still shooting 3-pointers?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Isn't it basketball 101 that when you get the lead, right, Deke? Like you've
Slow
coached
it down.
basketball. I have slow down the pace,
Yeah.
right? Get some 2-point baskets, maintain that lead. Who cares even if they would have tied with Atlanta in that quarter? It wouldn't have mattered. They got outshot or outscored 40-19, 40 to.
The bench.
I think I heard in that 26-point game, the last 15 minutes of the game, they got outscored 51-15.
And you know who else is a huge problem we didn't even get to? Tobias. He missed shot after shot in Game 7.
Layups.
Right.
He disappeared from one series to the
That's
next.
what I'm saying. Nobody has that mentality. You're right. That Mamba mentality. Like nobody has it. They think they can show up. They think they're great. And they found out. Like, look, we can talk all this trash we want, but you know what? When a push comes to shove, they didn't give 100% effort. I don't care. And we can blame Ben. That's fine, but I'm not going to blame Ben for blowing a 28-point lead. I don't want to hear about the foul shots. I don't even care that he was 4 of 14. You still don't blow a 28-point lead.
No,
you still don't blow an 18-point lead in Atlanta.
You can't.
Where if you beat them in Game 4, there's no way they have a pulse to come back, and you don't even have to. Like,
yeah, they had opportunities to take.
I'm beside myself because nobody I think that's left is better than the Sixers. I still don't. Even watching the Western Conference, they would go toe-to-toe with any of those teams. And they would have won last night, too.
Sixers Suns would be a really interesting matchup.
It would be.
Yeah, I actually said a couple weeks ago that I think the Suns are going to win it. I like the way they're playing.
Nate, any thoughts?
No, not really.
Nah.
I'm gonna be honest because we've talked about it all week. I think I've said it even on the show here. He ain't it. Really that simple. Ben ain't it. Right? There's a lot of things that happen there, but at the end of the day, it's on Ben. He's your second best player on the team. He's your max guy. He did not show up. We knew this. We are frauds as Sixer fans by telling ourselves that we were going to get something that we didn't. Right. So what would you expect was going to happen? He does it all the time. He does it in the regular season. He's done it in the playoffs before. We're frauds and trying to like it's like, you know, it's like the girl that you wanted and now you find out she's a dude or something crazy. something really dramatic, right?
Wow.
She's got an Adam's apple?
Yeah. Like
maybe that's what happened with Ben. He was with a girl and he found out she was a dude. He can't get over it.
That handshake was kind of hard. That hug was kind of tough. The nails weren't really filed down the right way. You know what I mean? So
what bars you hanging out in, man?
Yeah.
With all the prep boys, man. I don't know. It was over the top, but that's what it is right now. We're still talking about it. We're still soaking in it.
Right.
We're mad about it. We're angry about it. But it is what it is. And they're not trading him. Right. I've seen the rumor mill.
You don't think they are?
No. Who are they gonna trade for him?
Dude, if Rich Paul really met with them today, like I think he wants out quietly. I think this is a number 11 situation before I get in the swear jar that I think that's what they're trying to do. I mean, if you heard the same thing, we're going to rehab him. We're going to bring here's a part of the problem that I really think people need to overlook. I'm not taking fault away from Ben. This organization has babied him and enabled him since he's had his ass stepped in Philadelphia. He's been called the next LeBron. He's been called the Fresh Prince of Philly. Doc Rivers comes in like, Doc, like get him in the gym and make him shoot. That's why. And if this summer it doesn't happen, it's never going to happen. I don't know if it is going to happen because it's been 5 years.
I'm done.
And I'm a big Ben supporter. You know that.
Him being coddled has been a problem long before he got to the Sixers. It was probably a problem in 6th grade with this kid.
Daddy was bringing him his lunch.
Yeah, as soon as some bigwig in the game saw that he had potential and, that he could be, something special, it was all over. It was Coddle City up on a pedestal from that point on.
And here's the thing, like I know what you said, Nate, about him coming back. How the hell first of all, this guy's mentally soft. We all know that, whether it's mental health issues, which God forbid, that is real, right? So we do have to remember that if he is going through for something, God forbid, I hope he comes out of it. But how the heck does he step back into this city after what he did, and how's he accept it? And if he's not, how's he ever going to get better? Like, they're going to boo the shit out of him next year.
Yep.
They're not going to forgive him. They're not going to forgive him until, like, I mean, I shouldn't say that because Odubel Herrera is cheered now, but yeah, right.
We'll say the name.
Tobias promised that today, by the way, Brody, on Instagram. So
the name that we said we won't say but it's like Carson, right?
I think
There's
that's
gonna
exactly
be-
the situation
That's where
I
your dad's
see.
going.
There's going to be
I agree.
half
I
of
agree.
this fan base is going to say, that's all right. We'll give him next year. Look, I'll admit, I was part of that fan base last year for Carson. Like, we'll give him a shot.
But
I agree with you, Ishmael. Like, I don't want to see the videos this summer. Of
Yeah,
him in
I
the
don't
gym
care about it.
Shooting.
No.
There's
You're right.
nobody
No, I
around.
could care less about
I
it.
wanna see
Because and the only way I want to see
Uh-uh.
those videos is if, like I told you, he's in the court with Embiid, shooting coach, or he's at the Nova, or not the Nova, he's at the facility in Camden. I'm tired of this BS where him going to LA and taking a couple jump shots, and then you see him like, video games or with the girls in the cars. I'm tired of it. Like, do you want to be special or do you not? Kobe didn't care about that. Kobe's ass was in the gym.
Mhm.
Tyrese Maxey's response was perfect in the exit interviews. He said, I'm going to get 1% better every day.
Yep.
He shoots the ball 500 shots a day. Is Ben going to do that?
No.
I don't think
No.
so.
No.
One of the traders had to tell Maxey he wanted to come in on Monday.
I know. I
And
saw
he said
that.
no.
Well, that's Doc's
Yeah.
brother, which is or Doc's
Yeah.
son, which is another thing. He's a player development coach. So,
Maybe Maxey develops that Mamba attitude.
well, that's what I'd like to
You
see.
know,
I
I
think
wish he had a
already
little
has
more
it.
height. He's
He
on the
does.
way. Yeah,
Maxey's
he's on the
special.
right
Very
road.
close.
Yeah, he's on the right road. He's developing it, so to speak. It's a shame he's not 3 or 4 inches taller,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
he would be
Yeah, but
really
our
effective.
boy, who DJ compared him to AI, wasn't either. It's got to be a heart. But here's the thing.
Yeah, but AI had a
I agree
ton
with
of
you.
heart.
I agree. Here's the thing that, and I want your guys' opinion on this because I've been thinking about this. They talk about how they have this great culture and they have this great camaraderie. Do they really? Do they really in that locker room, or is that all false, fool's gold? And second of all, why the hell are they not all working? Like, I'd like to see Maxey, Thibault, Simmons, and Embiid all in the gym together this summer working out. You know what I mean? Like, if Simmons is committed to being in Philadelphia, then go to the Sixers practice facility, work out with your guys, right? Because Embiid's not going to be out west. He's got a child now.
Yeah.
Maxey's invested. He wants to already work out. Thibault, if that's what they're all about, then work together as a team. I don't care if you have to bring in Joel Embiid, shooting coach. Look at what he's done for the guys that he brought in. Tatum's a better shooter. Kelly Oubre's like all the guys that Drew Hanlon's worked with are better shooters, and Ben still wants to work with his brother, which I think is part of the
that's
problem.
part
He's
of that.
babied.
That-
He's babied.
Yes, that cannot be allowed. I can't
Right.
believe the Sixers allowed his brother to be his shooting coach.
Well, I think they changed it to like somebody else, Chris
I don't
Johnson.
care.
Yeah,
but
I agree
he was
with you.
the coach for more
Well,
than
that was
what was
right.
it? 3 years,
Right.
4 years.
Yeah,
he was the
Brett
coach.
Brown allowed it. Yeah.
That's insane that you allow your. What credentials does this guy have over Herb McGee?
He's going
my
to tell
brother?
you that he's an all-star. That's what, and I'm tired of hearing that from more
No,
too.
no, no,
We
no.
have
His
to-
brother. What does his brother's credentials have over somebody?
You don't realize that he's responsible for making Ben Simmons a superstar. He worked
No.
them out every day.
Stop.
No, I'm being sarcastic.
I know. And I'm
Chris
telling you to
Johnson
stop.
helped them develop a jump shot that we
Yeah.
still haven't seen, other than summer
And-
league his
and-
first year.
That I've been saying this for a while. You've got to have that competitive fire in your belly.
He doesn't.
I know, and you have to have that desire to become better. Never ever be
Settle for
satisfied
your
with
bet.
what you are.
Well, he's got it.
Nobody,
Right.
all the great players have never been in every sport,
You're
not
right.
just basketball, all sports across the board, from Tiger Woods and golf to Bjorn Borg in tennis, whatever. Pick your sport, pick your player.
Michael Phelps and swimming, right?
Yes, when he wasn't doing something else.
That's fine. I think that helped them.
Yeah, right.
Whatever.
But they all had that burning desire in their heart and in their belly to be better, and they worked at becoming better.
and that's
we're
the
never
difference.
satisfied.
And that's
and
the
he
difference.
isn't.
And I feel like
He's satisfied.
Embiid, as much as like I still ripped him, he has gotten better every time he's been in the league. Like if you look at his jump shot and his game,
and
works his
I
ass
said
off.
this a couple
You
shows
did,
ago.
right.
He's so far removed from his rookie year, whereas Ben is basically the same player as he was as a rookie. Embiid is head and shoulders beyond where he was as a rookie. He's developed his game immensely.
I couldn't help but watch that game in Atlanta last night, or Atlanta Milwaukee, and I don't know if you guys were watching it because I watched like the third or fourth quarter, and those like lobs that Giannis was going right to the basket, that could be Ben every time. Ben has that in him, like he does, and it's like that's part of my worry. Like, does he go somewhere else and unlock the potential? But I guess we can't worry about that anymore. But like, something's gotta give with this team, and like. I don't know what it is. And the other thing that I think we also got to think about is like, is Joel done with Ben? Because I've said this for a couple of years. Is there like I don't know how like close they really are, right? Like if you think about it, like Embiid kind of took some subtle shots, like, oh, I wish we still had Butler, right? And he knew, like, how much is that relationship repairable?
You talk about the locker room and the culture
Right.
and how
That's
it
what
is.
I'm
Well,
talking.
maybe
Right.
it's good because they all kind of do what they want, right? Like, yeah, we're all superstars, you know, and I'm sure the locker room's a little cliquey,
And
right?
Every locker room
Ben's
is
going to
cliquey.
go and he's going to play Call of Duty with his buddies at night, and Joel's going to go home to his baby, right? He's going to go home and play with his son.
And Tobias Harris is going to scream to the fans, I'm an all-star. Guess what, Tobias? If you're listening to Santa Boot, you're not an all-star. All right. I hope you are listening. And
he was in the regular season.
And that Instagram post that you just put up an hour ago, you're delivering a championship to Philadelphia. I'm holding you to that, Mr. 190 million, who disappeared in Game 7. All right, well, I'm good. I'm fired up now, Nate. I'm fired up.
Let me ask you boys something, because I've been listening, and I just want you to answer me 2 questions. First, is Ben Simmons a generational player? And then second, is this team better without Ben Simmons?
So let's read some of Ben's accolades since he's been in the league. Right, he's got a Rookie of the Year,
Call of Duty champion,
All Rookie team. He's been a 3-time All-Star, 2-time All-Defensive team. There's only 3 players in history to average 14 points, 7.5 assists, and 7.5 rebounds: Ben, Luka, and Oscar Robertson. So if you look at the stats, he looks like he should be. And
they're
that's how
empty
he
snaps.
was. I agree. It's Bobby Abreu.
They're Bobby Abreu
Bobby
stats.
Abreu
Yep.
all over again, right? He's getting it when it doesn't matter. But that's how he was sold to us, right? He was sold as a generational talent. He was a number 1 pick.
But he is. I can't disagree. He is, though.
He
He's
is
6'10",
right? Who can
running
do
the point.
everything other than shoot?
He can do everything.
Right.
He can shoot. He just doesn't shoot.
You know what's crazy? He shot. I looked at this today. That first year Miami series, he shot 70% in that playoff series. 70%
Who was
from
that?
the field.
Shoot 5
Simmons.
times?
No. 70% from the field. Like, I'm telling you, I told you guys this. I'm gonna bring it up right now. Simmons has some issues, and I don't know if it's because Kendall left him or the other Instagram model left him.
Dude, you need
He
to
can't
get
handle
off
it.
of that,
He
man.
can't handle
You
it.
need to get
so
off.
He's mentally soft.
Here you
dude.
guys go for a Mamba mentality. Hold on. Here it is.
Well, you gotta get a jump shot.
Oh, I saw this. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and it's like it sounds humorous and all that, but I'm dead ass serious. You can't, like, you know, because if not, he'll regret it when his career is over. And you look at what he's doing now without that is astonishing. Now imagine you can shoot the ball. What does that open up for you? You don't want to retire. No, seriously, you don't want to retire and look back and go, man, if I had a jump shot, what would I have done? You don't want that. You don't want that. So I don't care if you have to lock yourself in the gym 10 hours a day. If this kid gets a jump shot, it's a serious, serious problem. A serious, serious problem.
So when does he realize that?
I-
Work on that.
I hope it's the wake up call now, because if he even had the threat of a jump shot, the Sixers are basically unstoppable, because you're never going to be able to double cover Embiid. And I wish he would understand that. I'm not even look at Giannis. Giannis is not a good shooter, but he shoots the ball. A threat. Ben Simmons going up and shooting changes the whole dynamic of this team. And I will say what Nate said too. Like, I don't think they are a better team if they get rid of Simmons, unless it's like a superstar, whether it's a Beal, and I don't even know if it's a Levine, whether it's a Lillard, but like CJ McCollum, they're not a better team because they lose a lot on defense. Like, he is a really, really good defensive player, and he is the reason why that they shut down Trae Young in Game 7. I'll give him that defensively. He's amazing. And he doesn't even need to be he doesn't need to shoot the ball. He just needs to be a threat to shoot the ball. And I don't want to hear Doc Rivers BS about the foul line. We're going to make him better. I want to see more than just become better at the foul line, but it does start at the foul line.
But if you look at the players you just talked about, if you're their GM and you just saw what Ben is, you're not giving up those players.
Nate, I think Portland would, because they haven't been able to win with those two, and I think that Ben would really help them as a facilitator.
CJ, they're gonna give up CJ
I don't want him
McCullough?
for Ben.
Yeah,
I don't think it's enough, Nate. I don't. Why, you would do that?
Hell yeah.
He doesn't play defense.
You don't need defense with the other players around you.
I just feel like CJ. He's another. Like you hear these names that the Sixers like all the time. That they had other opportunities.
Like
You don't
D'Angelo,
CJ,
I heard D'Angelo Russell and
Lowry.
Malik Beasley. I don't want or Malik. Beasley from. I don't want him.
I would take CJ in a second. Are you serious?
I want Lillard.
Yeah, I'd
Dame
take Lillard
time.
first.
We can't. We're not getting Dame straight up for Ben. Now to be
What?
ridiculous.
So
I
here,
don't think so.
so
We're not.
Nate, here's another thing that I think Embiid needs to do. What do all superstars players do when it becomes he needs to start becoming a recruiter. So that's how LeBron and all these guys get guys. Like, I'm only going to play in Philadelphia. He needs to get a superstar that wants out and says, like, I'm only going to play in Philadelphia.
But
And
he ain't on that. He ain't on that level yet.
He doesn't make friends, right? He shakes hands after the games, and it looks like they're friends. But
Well, then he needs to go to Cameroon and recruit a guard.
I don't think he's that type either. I don't think he.
Do you think he's
I
that
think
type?
he's a salesman?
Nate, is he that type that'll say to management, like, look, you got to get rid of Ben?
That's the question I think is floating around.
Right.
That's tricky.
I mean, he threw him under the
If your
bus.
best player and your MVP caliber player, pretty much the guy we look at as the heart of the city, goes to management and say, hey, it's either me or Ben. Ben's got it. Something's got to give. Somebody's got to go. That's a tricky situation. And you trade him now, you're not going to get what you want. I think the latest trade I saw was something over. It was
D'Angelo Russell.
It's Wiggins and like
I don't want Wiggins.
the two top picks that Golden State got in Wiggins for Ben.
You know who somebody I just thought about? I was thinking about today.
I would take that though.
What about Cleveland? Because they have a top 4 pick and they have Garland. Would you take
Sexton?
Sexton and Nance and a first round pick?
Are they going to give Sexton's like their best player right now?
I think they would. I think they would give him up for Ben because I think they think about star appeal and what LeBron did. I think you could get him, Sexton. I do.
He needs to go to a veteran team. He can't go to a team where.
And listen, I don't give a shit where he goes as long as we get a good player. He could go to freaking Shanghai Sharks if I get Bradley Beal back.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about Simmons. I'm worried about the best what's for the Sixers. But I agree. How about a 3-way deal? Send him to Golden State, like I said. Send a bunch of young players, Thibault, Kelly Oubre, Wiggins, and picks to Washington, and we get Beal.
I don't want to give up Thibault. You can't give. That's a lot of defense just walking out the door.
Well, I'm not. I'd rather give up Thibault to Maxey, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I agree there, but
Yeah.
what Thibault showed in that series is that he's got a little bit more offensive game to him, even though he missed that big shot in the corner of 3 when he was wide open. But he made some big threes in that series too to keep them ahead. I think he actually shot pretty well that series as well. He just makes bad timely defensive stops. Great defensively, but if you notice over the period of time, he makes bad end of the game defensive bonehead plays. Like he's so aggressive, but he's so good at being aggressive. It's hard for him to kind of turn it off. Like there was no reason to foul that dude from 3-point line, smacking the head. Just run with your hand up.
Yeah, that was bad.
It was a bad foul. It was a terrible foul.
So if Joe, if we think Joe's the kind of guy to walk into GM's office,
Maury's
office and say, look, I'm not saying you need to get rid of Ben.
But you
need to get me a shooter. So if that means getting rid of Toby, that means getting rid of Maxey. Like if you want Ben around here because you think Ben still has the potential, you're gonna work with Ben in the offseason. Who goes then?
I heard the excuse that they gave before too was like, oh, the bench doesn't have enough height. Like you could have freaking went out and got. You could.
Also Doc's
that's what
fault.
Doc said. You could have went out and got.
Ben doesn't have enough.
No,
height.
the bench.
Oh, the bench.
But like the bench was not as good as everybody thought. Like if you think about it, like Shake at times was really good, right?
Yeah, they
he was
get a
hit
lot
or
of
miss.
support.
Maxey, we don't know because Doc didn't want to play him as much because he wasn't good defensively. Even in the playoffs, I saw him as one of the better defensive players. Like they need veterans that are gonna like a PJ Tucker would be perfect. I know we probably can't afford him after what he's doing in Milwaukee, but like that's the type of guy you need.
They shortened the bench, but by shortening it, they got rid of like the scraps. Mike Scott. Right.
Yeah.
Get those guys.
I don't think he stepped on the floor, did he?
Yeah, but Dwight
Not the
Howard
second
didn't
round,
even
no.
have. I don't even know if I bring
Dwight
Howard
didn't
back.
have a great. I liked Dwight as the backup center.
Yes.
But the whole second series, like some of these guys just disappeared.
George Hill.
George Hill disappeared.
And then that's another thing. Doc was praising him. Oh, he was great. Get the hell out of here, Doc. Stop feeding us that BS.
Doc,
Pick up the
trying
$10 million option and trade his ass.
Doc's trying to justify his moves. Or
Yes.
lack of.
Yes.
You got to bring
Yes.
Danny Green back. I didn't think that, but you have to because there needs to be somebody
For
in
the
that
contract?
locker room. They need to sign him this offseason. And then if you're going to sign him and then trade him, fine, to be in a deal. But like you can't let him go for nothing because you have no assets. But I think Danny Green is a locker room guy that needs to be here, especially if all
And
those guys are
And
back.
he's
So
a
it'd be
winner.
like-
He's
like-
won 3 rings
right.
on 3 different teams.
Right.
He's
Right.
he's been in multiple locker rooms that have won.
And
he knows what it takes
and don't
to
you
win.
think the fact that he said that at his end of the exit interview was like a little eye-opening to you? Like obviously he saw something that we don't know about,
Yes.
right? Like who the hell says that? Oh, well, I think we look past. You're not saying that unless you have like as a veteran, unless there's something that made you think that.
Yeah, he made a comment too that Doc said he'd be back.
Yeah, I think he will be back. They don't have any money.
Yeah.
And they need him. Or they need to use him in a trade, like a sign and trade,
Yeah,
right?
sign and
Like
trade.
you
Yeah.
you don't have any assets really. So you have to, other than Ben, so you have to pick up George Hill's option and then you can move him. You have to re-sign Danny Green and a sign and trade, and then you can move him. But you can't let these guys go for nothing.
No. It's going to be an interesting offseason.
I will say this: Morey usually finds a way. So,
Yeah.
like, as much as I'm down in the dumps right now, like, I think Morey will find a way because he was trying to trade for Jimmy Butler and he'd have a leg to stand on when he was trying to leave here. So, I think Morey will get a superstar player. I just don't know if it's going to be at the expense of Ben. I really don't know.
It's hard to be a Philadelphia fan.
It
It
is. I think it's going to be so difficult to trade Ben between his contract and the way he's devalued himself over the playoff run and the last couple of years. It's going to be really difficult. So
He needs
the option, it's that or the other option is obviously to keep him and try and develop him.
You need to get Kylie back for him. At all costs. Look at Devin Booker right now. He's balling with Kylie Jenner. It's that Kardashian curse, boys.
Yeah, stay away from that.
Jalen Hurts is with a Kardashian now. You know that?
Oh boy!
I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say, I didn't know there were
What happened to the
Kardashians
one
left.
that they found
Is
in
that breaking news?
what happened to the one that they found in a crack house after 3 days?
Is that breaking news?
Breaking news.
Who was the one they found in a crack house 3 days?
Lamar Odom?
Yeah. Yeah, look what happened to him. Where
he's
his
not a-
career
Yeah, but he
is.
still has a ring
But he hasn't stepped foot on the floor in how long?
for the
He's
what
got
do you
a-
call that? The league where Iverson was in it.
D-League?
No, the 3.
Oh, the three, the what is it
he,
called?
he tried to play there.
Ice Cubes League. Right?
Yeah, Ice Cubes League. I forget what it's called.
Yeah, he just fought Aaron Carter.
Did he get his ass beat?
No. He's like a whole like 2 feet taller
Didn't what's
than
his
him.
name get his ass beat? Vernon Maxwell or somebody got knocked out. I remember an NBA player.
Nate Robinson.
Oh, Nate Robinson.
Yeah.
He went night.
All right, I think we need to discuss the off season
Yeah.
and what we might be able to do in the off season. So let's take a quick break to pay some bills. We'll come back. We'll talk what the Sixers might be able to do to make this team ready to compete again. And maybe we'll get into the summer sport or our wonderful Phillies.
I thought you meant soccer.
InsurePhilly.com. We comparison shop all the time. Can I get this cheaper on Amazon? What will the store brand see? Should I get a second estimate on this?
How's the arm feeling?
So why not
Ready to
do that
pitch
for your
yet or what?
insurance?
Dude, as they
Better
take the
yet,
lead, I'm like,
Why not have someone comparison shop for you? At InsurePhilly.com, you can get up to 10 quotes in about 10 minutes with top insurance carriers like Progressive, Travelers, Nationwide, Selective, Liberty Mutual, Encompass, Kemper, and Berkshire Hathaway. Owner agent Matt Maloney provides top national carriers with top local service. Just go to InsurePhilly.com to get your quote online or call Matt at 215-300-9590. For all your insurance needs, auto, home, life, business, and Medicare insurance plans, make sure to go to InsurePhilly.com today or call 215-300-9590. Matt Maloney gives you the national carriers you recognize from a local company you can trust. InsurePhilly.com.
Yeah, that's us.
Or the rip. One or two guys that showed up.
Turn the beat up.
We are back on Santa Boot First Podcast. Thank you to our sponsor, InsurePhilly.com. We forgot to give them a shout out at the beginning.
Oh,
We got right
You're
into
fired,
it,
James.
and I totally flubbed it. I fumbled there. We forgot to give a shout out to Matt Maloney and the MPM agency, InsurePhilly.com. Up to 10 quotes in about 10 minutes. We got you covered. And also, our buddy Jason Fogg and Pops McCann's Irish Whiskey, powered by Pops. I apologize, gentlemen. Now we're back. All right, you settled Santa in there?
I'll tell you in a second.
Looks like Ben in the playoffs.
Moving your arm. Ben laying down.
It looks like Ben. You got to get him going. All right, there you go.
There
You
we
got
go.
him.
There we go.
He's playing defense.
Now Brody's going to complain again that you can't see his young, angelic face on the camera. That's why we got distracted in here. All right, so Daryl Morey said that his job as a GM is to look at every player and get the best players for his team, right? My job to get the best players. We didn't have quite good enough players. Who's he talking about then? None of these players are his players, right? We've already said that. So who wasn't quite good enough? You can look at the guys like, well, I don't even want to say Seth because Seth played well in the second round.
Yeah, I mean, I
The
think
Danny Greens, the Shakes.
Who's untouchable? Let's start with who's untouchable.
Seth,
Seth is untouchable.
Joel,
Maxie,
Maxie.
Yeah, man.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Bible, maybe.
No, I don't think
No.
he's untouchable.
All right, Joel.
Not
So everybody, all those three, and everybody else is on the table.
I mean,
for
I
offers.
disagree. Joel.
I think you said.
No, I said Joel.
No, I'm saying that's my list. List stops there.
Oh, Joel, and that's
You know
it.
what?
Joel,
though?
hard stop. Everybody else is available.
Gotcha.
Everybody
Joel's
else is
do
available.
that. Super,
Gotcha.
He just changed his agent today. I'm like, what the hell is he changing his agency for? Is he
Hey,
trying?
give him that super.
Is he
max.
going to go to Clutch?
And let me ask you boys this: what if Portland asked for Joel for Dame?
Hell no.
No.
Hell no.
Wow. Brody chimed in on that one.
No.
No.
So is he untouchable? As you guys feel Embiid's untouchable? Like, what if he
Yeah.
gives you the haul? You know, like
if they give me
two superstars, couple first round picks.
what, like
he-
Zion and Ingram,
Okay, yeah, you can use that. Zion, Ingram,
I might do that.
and two first round picks, unprotected for Joel.
I just
But now you're making up stories. Now you're talking rainbows, rainbows and unicorns.
I'm
That ain't
just-
gonna
yeah.
all right.
happen.
So maybe
I'm just saying.
maybe
Yeah,
nobody's untouchable
you
in
gotta
the right
make
deal.
sure-
You're right.
If you look at his injury, we're in his
And
prime.
he's getting a super max.
And you look at his
Yeah.
injury history. He's probably got because he flops, man. He flops
Yeah,
around
he's
a
got-
lot.
I get nervous every time he hits the floor.
Yeah, he flops around. But he'll give you a 35 and 15 every night, and you got it. You either do that for the next 3 years until he falls off, or you get you kind of like you guys are gonna talk about the Phillies. You blow it up.
Yeah.
You blow it completely up and start fresh because he's going to give you the haul, right? He's a top 3 player in the league, without a doubt.
Yeah.
That I mean,
Yeah.
I'm a little
You-
concerned about giving him that super max. Like, and I think Maury's got that in the
How many
back of
years
his
did that
head.
Get you
5,
5.
4, but he's got 2 years left on this deal. So
Right,
you're talking about
so-
6 years. If he
Yeah,
waits
he's
till
got
next
3
year, you're
years
talking
left.
about 7.
So you're talking 33, 34.
Yeah, 35, paying him $50 million a year.
He's got
And-
3 years left of my
And
mind.
Nate, you got to
Good years,
remember.
productive
it?
years.
See, I think he can go to 32.
If he keeps beating on those knees and flopping around like
Yeah.
that, I mean,
That's what I'm saying. Like it's like you don't like it, but if you think about it,
But then if you do that, then you build around Ben, right?
yeah, actually, you would build around Ben. You would build around. You would just put shooters around him.
All right, I just turned on-
Ben?
You would
So-
have to. You would have to. He's your star.
I don't
Vote
know.
for him.
But if the Hall brings you superstars, so I
Yeah,
think
well,
it
that's true.
Depends on what it's coming.
Yeah, the hall is going to bring you a superstar. It's going to bring you a superstar caliber who's a top 5 player like Dame. Like Dame Lillard. Like, what if they say, "I'll give you Dame,"
and McCollum.
and I don't think they'll do that. They'll keep
Simons?
one of them,
See,
you
You got to remember if a team is going to do that, give you all those pieces.
Then there's a reason.
There's not necessarily there's a reason. That's true. But what I was thinking is now they got to start almost all over again because they just decimated their team.
Mm.
They got rid of current players. They're getting rid of draft picks, so their future's gone. So you just got to make sure that the other team's willing to do something along those lines if you're going to do that.
You're going to get a superstar that's disgruntled, is what it's going to be.
Yeah,
right. Because
yeah.
like you just said, Nate, with Joel's history, his age, no team is going to come in and say, "I'm going to give you my top 2 stars for this guy that I might get 3 years out of."
Yes,
and I'm
because
going to
of his
need to
track
build
record.
around him, and I just gave you my top 2 stars.
Yeah, and you know that.
Like,
It's
would you
no
take
longer a
Kawhi?
center's league anymore. It's
Kawhi?
a perimeter
Yeah.
player league.
Kawhi straight up.
Or Kawhi and a pick for Embiid because Kawhi's coming off that obviously that injury, which I think is more than what they're telling.
No.
And can you build around a player that is going to give you 3 productive years for max?
That's why I think his trade value isn't quite
Right. You can't
Well,
build
we-
around that. You need when you want to build around a player, you're looking to get 8 to 10 years out of that player.
eh.
I mean, that's great
Not in
defensively,
basketball.
man. Like Kawhi and Simmons on the same team. Jesus Christ.
Who's going to score
And
that?
Thibault. Yeah, who's
Kawhi.
Kawhi will.
Yeah, but he takes nights off too.
Kawhi ain't coming to Philly.
No,
I don't want him to.
I just and it's probably the homer in me. Like
But I'm just saying you're going to get that
Joel's-
caliber player, like that type of player is what you're getting back in return, plus some extra assets, maybe some buyouts. Because I'm looking at all the teams in the league right now, and I'm looking at what makes sense. Like, you know what I mean? LA always needs a big man. I'm just trying to think of other teams that make sense. Like Minnesota doesn't really make sense. Maybe
How about San
Utah,
Antonio?
You know, but what if San Antonio doesn't have a star?
What about if they give you DeJounte Murray,
Nah, he's not.
Lonnie Walker, and a first-round pick?
Nah, man, it's not enough.
No.
I mean, we're talking about the
I want some
MVP of
guys
the
that are a
league.
little more proven.
Murray's pretty good, dude.
For Simmons?
No, we're talking about for Embiid.
No, I'm talking
Yeah.
about for Simmons.
For
Wow.
Simmons, I think I
Yeah.
DeJounte
Yeah.
Murray and Lonnie Walker in a 1. Would you do it?
That's a good. You know what? That's a good place for him to drop though, because you got
Popovich, I
because
think,
Pop.
and that's what I was going to say. I think Pop thinks that he could fix Simmons.
because Brett Brown told him.
Or what about if I told you like
Yeah.
DeRozan, Lonnie Walker in a 1?
I like DeMar.
I like
He's
DeRozan.
getting a
He's a
little-
walking 2025.
Older, right? OT.
I don't
He's
know how old he is.
31, and he's a free agent, so it would be a sign and trade.
Yeah, he's on the other side. I want somebody in their
Beal.
prime.
We need Bradley
They're
Beal.
not giving up Beal, man.
What? Yeah, but see,
But
that's
is
the
he-
point.
he's the
Is
guy
he
that doesn't wanna
eventually
be
going to
there, right?
ask out and be like, dude, I don't want to be here? That's where Embiid comes into play. Yo, come on. Say you only want to go to Philly. Let's get it done.
If Bill knows Embiid is coming to Washington, he's going to do everything he can to
No,
stay
I'm
in
talking
Washington.
about if Embiid tries to get Beal to come to Philly.
Mm.
Because he's not winning in Washington.
Of course not.
So, like, don't you think there's going to come a point where Beal's going to be like, all right, kind of like where Dame is? I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think there's a guarantee that Dame wants to come back to Portland. He's not saying anything, but he's also not like pledging to Portland. Like, especially if they don't hire the coach that he wants, I think there's a possibility Dame could be like, look, I want out.
I think this is not realistic at all. But is there a point where Joel says, "I want out"? You're wasting me.
If
You
maybe
are
next
wasting me, and-
next year, if they bring Ben back and they shit the bed again,
I don't think that's going to
I don't think so.
No, I don't see it.
It would
Everything
go
he
against
says,
everything he
loves
said.
Philly.
Right.
He wants to be here.
This is his franchise.
It
He's the
is.
face of
I
the
don't know. He
franchise.
might go to South Beach with Butler.
There were other guys that left their franchise because they said, "I want to go get that ring."
I think he's going to start as he gets older, put more pressure on management, and that's kind of what I'm hoping he's doing right now. Like Maury, like
So here's
I need another
here's another one for
star.
y'all. How about Bam and Hero, and maybe a protected first round
Duncan
pick
Robinson.
for Embiid.
Give me Duncan Robinson. You have a deal.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm saying. Like those,
Yeah,
like Bam is 23,
I like Bam.
Hero is 21. You get another first round pick, and you like, would you do that? Because you know you're gonna have Bam, and the way Bam plays, you know he's a 10-year vet. I mean, he's gonna be a 10-year pro, and Hero same too. He's gonna be. You get your shooting. I mean, you got to do more because the contracts are way off.
Well, no. It's not really because Bam signed him max last year, so you're kind of on to something, Nate.
Yeah, Bam, and you sit him with Jimmy, you sit him with Butler.
Yeah,
You have shooters around them. They'll probably give you Oladipo because he's just
Well, he's a free agent. So
Yeah,
you
so yeah,
sign.
so-
Sign him back.
yeah. But think about, I'm just saying, like Hero and Bam for in a protected first round pick for Embiid. Would you pull the trigger on that? And you have to think about it because you're getting a lot of talent.
Yeah, and you're getting more years.
Yeah, and you're getting more years. You know what I mean? You're getting defense, you're getting shooting. You know, I don't know who's your scorer and on that team, on that five.
I can't do
Your
it.
heart's not letting
No,
you do it.
it's not even just that. I think as long as Embiid's here, they should be a contender. If he plays at the MVP level that he does.
But that's
it's
only
interesting. We
a few
started
more
about-
years.
But why? I mean, I think he could play 32. I think he's got 4 to 5. That's my guess.
Max
Productive
5
years?
years.
Yes,
Good
Duncan
productive-
years.
Yes.
Yes.
Max 5 years.
5 years. So 5 years is like pretty good window.
He gets injured a lot, man.
You're right. I
That's
agree.
the
He's only
thing.
played in 52% of his games.
Realistically, it's probably closer to 3 or 4, and I think 5 is the max number of years you're going to get.
That's
out of
why
it.
it's hard to give him that super max because he's got 2 years left
Right.
on his deal, and then you
Right.
got to give him an additional 5 years. So you're locked in for 7 years.
Yeah, but that gives you flexibility with the rest of the roster if you do that, right?
No, you're paying him $55 million.
You can go over with those guys, can't you?
Well, yeah. I
You're
mean,
not-
if Josh Harris wants to
Wow.
go
Yeah,
over the
that's
luxury
what
tax,
I like
Tax.
that trade, man. I would take Bam and Hero in the first for Embiid. I really would.
I think it's funny how we started about talking Ben and now all of a
Yeah,
sudden
now all of a sudden
we're trading.
we got
traded
Joel out of here.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I agree with you. He's the.
I
If
think
you're looking at the most valuable asset on this team,
yeah.
it's him. He's
It's
going to
him.
get you the big.
But if
call,
you're
like you
going to
said.
do that, don't you think? I mean, obviously you're getting back some good talent back, but like Moore's trying to win a championship, and Doc Rivers are. Like, let's be honest. I don't think they're here more than the 5 years contracts they signed. So, is that really a viable window? I don't think it is.
I don't want to keep repeating myself. These aren't Maury's guys, right?
No,
Yeah,
they're
He's
not.
not
Yeah,
attached to
they're
these
not.
guys.
I think they are more attached to Joel than
I
anybody
think they are
else.
too. He's the face of the franchise.
But I mean,
Then the window closes next year, man. Brooklyn's gonna be full steam ahead.
Nah, Brooklyn stinks.
I don't like Brooklyn.
Brooklyn stinks.
No, they don't stink.
they don't stink. But
Ooh,
I'm going
come
to tell
on,
you right
man.
now, like they're not. I mean, there's some
Teams
drama there
got
too.
lucky, got hurt. Teams lucky those stars got hurt.
Absolutely. Harden wasn't the same, and Kyrie wasn't playing.
Yeah, they got lucky. They
Yeah.
got real. That was a big toe away from.
They
being
also
over
have a
from
de-
they
that three.
also have a better bench than us.
That was a big toe. That Durant 3 was a big toe from that series being over.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like let's be, and he played. I'm as much basketball we've all seen. As much as we cry about old school basketball, I'm gonna tell you what. I've never seen a player play all 50 minutes of a game.
Yeah.
Like I've seen Embiid. I mean, not Embiid. I've seen LeBron play a lot, but I mean, he didn't come off the court, and it was 1-on-5 because Harden didn't do anything.
I think Brooklyn's got
Harden-
next year, but I don't think does Durant re-up there? Does Harden re-up there? Does,
He put his heart on the floor on that
no, I'm
series,
talking
man.
about after next year. Do you think he goes in?
I don't think he goes anywhere.
We were calling Durant soft too.
Yeah, we calling him soft. Yo,
He's playing every minute.
he
Yeah.
played every single minute, and not just the one. He played in both games back to back. Like that's tough, man.
Yeah.
I just think. I mean, Brooklyn will be there, but like the Sixers can be there with the right moves, right? The Sixers can be there with the right moves.
So what are the right moves? This is what we're trying to get down to. We're throwing all these things out. Let's focus on. Is it Ben?
I don't want to keep Ben, but if you're looking to if they're going to blow it up, you got to trade Embiid. That he's your only
Wow.
viable.
So
I don't
wait,
think we need a blow
They
up,
don't
though.
need to.
Wait, Nate. So here's my thing: if you can't get rid of Ben, are you just blowing it up?
No, I don't think he goes anywhere. I don't think this team is better without Ben. I'm gonna be honest with you.
So you think they don't trade Ben?
I don't think they trade him at all. I think they keep him.
I think if I have to put money on it, he's here next
Yes,
year. And
I
it's gonna be
agree
New
100%.
England.
I think
Are we
this is
doing
like-
like a bet here?
Another
Like, are
bet?
we putting the?
I
No.
think it's a make
Why
or
not
break.
just
No,
put a
I-
6-pack on here?
You
I'll
think
do
he's
it.
gone?
I don't think he's here.
You think he's here?
I think he's
I
going.
think
as
he's
much
here.
As I don't.
I think
Nate,
he's here.
you think he's here, right?
Yeah.
Bro,
I get
yeah.
like I think he's here.
How about this? So we all put a 6-pack up.
I
I'm
get
not
that
buying. I'm
one.
not
No, I
buying a
get-
6-pack
But
for
I'm
everybody.
still
You
waiting
buy,
on my
you buy a
6-pack.
case.
I get like I get a 6-pack of Kool-Aid. What do I get?
There you go.
There you
What am I
go.
getting?
Six-pack of
I'll bring
Pepsi.
in a bottle of pops.
I'll take that. 3 6-packs versus a bottle of pops. I'll take that bet. I think he's here though. He's
I just don't. I think it's at the point where it's like Embiid's done. Embiid threw him under the bus. Doc Rivers
Look,
threw
that
him
was-
under the bus.
I don't
I
agree with
understand
Doc.
it's a heat of
Doc
the moment.
should- Embiid,
you got him out of here, but you got to remember, you got to find a willing partner,
If Rich,
and you got to try and get close to
I
value.
think-
You're not going to get
I
value.
think
on
his
him
agent's going to push him out. That's why I think he's gone. They met with him today. Why would
He's
you?
still under contract. It doesn't matter what his agent
Have
does.
you seen what Rich Paul has
His
done?
agent can't
Have you
trade
seen
him.
what Rich Paul did? He got LeBron, Anthony Davis. Don't be surprised if Ben ends up in the Lakers.
Contracts don't mean anything.
Yeah, that don't mean shit. Come on, Deke. Rich Paul gets whatever he wants. Clutch Sports runs the league. National Brawn Association is the NBA
Yeah.
led by Clutch Sports.
Yeah, well,
Would you trade Embiid for LeBron?
Yo, how about
I would not.
Kuzma and what's the point guard with the little
Schroeder?
and then Ben goes there and wins like 3 straight titles.
yeah.
Is Kuzma a free agent? I think he's a free
I
agent.
think
Right?
No,
free
he's not a
agent,
free
isn't he?
agent. They gave him like 4 years, $80 million last year.
Is he? I thought he was
I
done.
thought it was done in LA.
We can get no, he's not. We can get the other guy too that just got caught smoking
Caruso?
pot. Caruso.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
Ben applauds it. Or I mean, LeBron applauds it. I'm like, what a great
Yeah.
role model.
Man, it's almost legal across the
Shit,
state.
I hope it
I was
is.
going to say that too.
Hey, that swear jug should be like $100 deep after today. Jesus.
I don't want to be too early, too doomsday, but was this Joel's best shot at winning something?
No, I don't think so.
You
Oh.
think with this? You
No.
think the window's still wide open?
Maybe as Doc is the coach.
It's been pulled down.
shimmied a little bit?
Just a shit. Yeah,
Shimmy?
like when it's
Like a
stuck
tr-
open,
Curtains
Yeah, you
and you start
closed a bit.
struggling to
like
bring
a,
it down.
a Trey Young shimmy like that.
Yeah, it was stuck open for a while, and now when you got that first tug on it, and pulls down
All
an
I
inch.
think about is us getting the Hawks next year. I want paybacks.
I
I
I
want
would love
paybacks.
that team became. I had zero,
Oh,
and I mean
Deke,
zero feelings about
Dude,
that one way or the
Deke
other.
and the chain, he was going off
And
about the Hawks.
I mean, they shot up the ladder of hate in a heartbeat.
Well, Trey Young's like, you have to hate him. He's such a
Yeah, I don't know if I would
Hateable
like him on
face,
the
yeah.
Sixers. That's how much I don't like that guy. And I was the same way about. I didn't like Dirtball Dykstra when he was on the Phillies. I hated him on the Mets, and I didn't like him all that much on the Phillies. And I think I'd be the same way with Trey Young.
until he's
I don't
dropping
know.
40 and we're
Well,
He didn't do that till last
Maybe.
night. That was his first time, right?
what?
You hit for 40.
I think he had 39 against us one game.
37.
Yeah, I'd say
he was
like-
high 30s
And
a couple times.
last night's game, I'm pretty sure it came up.
But
on the
here's
screen.
the thing,
Well,
He had
that's-
48.
I don't know
last
how
night.
you guys
Yeah,
how you
that's
guys
the same
feel
thing.
about this because it's like the same argument I would use about Iverson. I think he's great, but like if a dude shoots the ball 38 to 40 times, is it really that
Yeah.
great if he gets 48 points?
Well, AI went to the Hall of Fame doing
Right,
that,
but I'm just
so-
saying, like,
It's volume.
is it,
Right,
is
yeah,
it,
he's a
is it
volume
different
shooter.
because it's Trey?
You know what?
If it was 12 for 35, it would be me shooting. Right?
So here's the
Drop the one and make it 2 for 35.
If
Probably
you
more
could
accurate.
probably take away like 10 to 15 fouls in the Sixer series that Trey Young shouldn't have got. Even last night.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys
That's-
watched that
that's-
continuation floater.
Oh yeah.
He didn't touch him.
The officiating has been horrible. I didn't put that down as one of the excuses, but it's definitely an excuse.
Yeah, it's
It was-
hard to use the
it was a
officiating.
factor in
on
the
both
game.
sides.
But-
It's bad on both
But
sides.
here's the thing,
so-
Deke. I agree with you, but it's hard to use officiating when you blow a 28 and a 16-point lead. That's why I don't
Take care
use
of your
it.
own business.
Right,
True.
exactly.
I don't argue that
Right.
one.
That's
and
why I haven't
and that's
brought up
what
the
I-
officiating.
That's what I tell the kids I coach when,
Yeah.
if we do something like that where we
Right.
blow a big lead and I say the referees weren't shooting foul shots and missing them.
Right.
The referees weren't missing layups. The referees weren't doing whatever. So, yes, you can't always blame the referees.
I mean,
But they did have a small influence on the outcome of multiple games.
more than small. I'd give it more
Yeah,
than small. but
yeah.
I'm not.
I
It's not
can't.
the complete out.
I can't
No, it's they didn't lose the series or games for the Sixers, but they did have a factor in.
I mean, the Sixers lost Game 7 because of the foul line. Not only, I mean,
Yeah.
Joel missed
Yeah.
3 or 4 foul shots.
Yes,
Tobias missed some. Tobias couldn't make a
Yes.
freaking layup. Brody, you would have made those shots that Tobias missed. And I mean, you're probably a great basketball player, so that's not a knock on you. But those were simple shots. 3-point lead turn into the 5-point lead. 5-point lead
Yes.
turn into 7, and
Yes.
and you put them away at that point, and you
Mhm.
didn't. You let bums hang around. That's what
How do you
happens.
put them away?
Hey, Brody, he was
Did you-
talking about you, man.
No, I wasn't. No, Brody knows that. Brody knows I wasn't.
How do you put those guys away? You just feed that ball in the paint.
But Embiid's got to sit down there.
I know, and that's where Doc needs to tell him to get his ass in there.
But I think
and
that's
just feed him the ball.
I think that's where the injury came into play because he was settling for outside
he made that
shots.
dunk in the first.
Yeah, I know, but he was settling for outside shots, those turnaround fadeaways more than he normally does. And he was eating Washington up inside. And I even commented, it's about time he learned, and you said something, it's about time he learned how unstoppable he is down low.
So do you think when he got hurt in Washington that changed everything?
And he was doing that.
You think when he got hurt in Washington that changed everything?
Yeah, he was doing that early on in the series against the Atlanta because I don't think the injury was wearing on him yet. He wasn't getting beat up yet. You know, it wasn't part.
I mean, he wasn't grabbed around the neck by Collins and thrown to the ground. I mean,
I am convinced that throwing him to the ground every chance they got was part of their strategy.
Oh yeah, I agree with you.
Seriously, it was talked about in the locker room.
Yeah, this like is what a bounty,
whatever you want to call it. But I seriously think they talked.
I think you got a good point because
the strategy was to put him down on the floor. Because and Capella came out and said it. When he gets tired and beat up, he's not as effective.
His body language totally showed it too.
Yes.
Getting up and down the court. There were sometimes he just stand there, hunched over his knees.
And I think
you're the only one doing anything.
I think that injury came into it became a factor of him camping out on the low block. Because he wasn't doing it nearly as much. And I said to DJ, I don't know how many times watching the games, he's catching the ball too far away from the rim. And you know, when he's healthy, he can drive sometimes to the rim and do damage. But in the condition that he was in, he didn't have that burst to the basket where everybody just kind of like backed up and got out of his way almost. And that wasn't there from like midway through the series on. Early on, maybe it was when it wasn't showing so much yet. But I think that injury really came into play later on in the series, where he was catching the ball too far away from the rim, not being effective down low, settling way too many times for that fadeaway shot. And you know, and that's when legs come in. You know, once the legs are gone, your jump shot's gone. And he missed an inordinate amount of those fadeaway. He's usually money on those fadeaway jumpers, and he missed an inordinate amount of those jumpers than he usually does. So.
So
I can't argue there.
I mean, that's, like I said, post-mortem, autopsy, cause of death, multiple
Doc and Ben
damage.
We got a
blunt force
laundry
trauma.
list.
I mean,
yes,
Ben.
Yes, blunt force trauma was definitely part of it.
Ben, Doc, injuries, officiating, and just a hot Hawks team.
Yeah,
we'll see if they carry it.
They say in hockey, if you run into a hot goalie, a lesser team can win. We ran into Trae Young. The dude's on fire since the first game.
I gotta
in the first
I'm
game
not
of the
gonna say I
playoffs.
respect this game. The kid's a shooter. He looks like he's got heart. I don't respect the whole leaning in, but that's the way the league is.
Exactly. He's playing by the rules.
I'm gonna play. Yep.
He's playing by the rules.
And it annoys the hell out of me. It's like,
to no end.
He's like I said it many times. He's the Sidney Crosby of the NBA.
Absolutely.
He flops. He whines.
Yep.
He gets all the calls.
Yep.
And he's going to get even more now that he's publicized. So like that rule next year ain't going to matter.
And my thing about that rule is if it's okay for an offensive player to lean into a defender who's not trying to make contact.
But isn't that already in the rule book now?
Let me finish my point. If it's okay for that offensive player to do that to a defender who's not looking for contact and get the foul called against the defender, it should be equally fair for the defender to do the same thing to the offensive player. And
it should be an offensive foul every time.
Yeah.
Yes.
You go straight up.
Yes.
And the shooter runs into
you. When you're standing there like this, you don't even jump straight. And a defender's legally allowed to jump straight up into the air and come straight back down. He can't lead, but he can jump straight up and down. And that's legal.
I think that drove me nuts. But the one that really drives me nuts is where he gets to like half court and like thigh ball brush him and he just throws the ball up. And he gets three shots.
Jacks it up.
And he gets three shots.
And the push off was never called.
No.
Oh God!
I don't think his I don't think
he looked like LeGarrette
was
Blunt
called
in the
one
Super
time.
Bowl. No, I agree with
Not one time was it called.
But they called it on they called it on Ben a few times and they called it on Max.
And it was obvious on him more than once.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. We'll see how the Sixers play out. We got a little time for Phillies talk.
Sure.
Another wasted superstar.
It won't take long.
Another wasted superstar.
Yeah, it's starting to look like it.
So we were actually down there for the game yesterday.
Oh.
Got to witness it in person.
Sorry to hear
It was
that.
great, grand slam, lots of home runs, and
They
the
blew it.
pitching just
I mean, David Hale.
cannot. Yeah,
Why would Girardi bring him in?
is Girardi?
I think he's
kind
a
of like
big
Doc.
part. I think
he's a little.
I'm not a big
outcoached.
fan of Girardi, and I'll tell you right now, if they have another losing season, I'd get rid of him. Not
With-
a Girardi
with-
guy.
With Monday off,
Right.
tomorrow, and as of last night, tomorrow off, meaning today.
Right.
He said he was down 4 pitchers.
He could have went to Alvarado.
Are you serious, dude?
Alvarado did come in.
These pitchers
Yeah, but he didn't
don't-
come in before Hale. They threw Hale. Right? They were up
no.
11-7. He threw Hale in.
Alvarado came in, I think, in the 7th.
Right. So
And
throw.
then Hal came.
I would have threw Alvarado in just to get out of that.
Well, he's also unreliable. You never know if it's going to be a ball or a strike.
Wild thing.
But he throws 100 plus. So, but the thing is, some of these relievers, they're not throwing more than 15 to 20 pitches,
Archie
and
Bradley's
they
a
can't
disappointment.
throw 2 days in a
Sucks.
row.
Yeah.
Bradley
Why can't
sucks.
why can't they throw 2 days in a row if they're throwing 15 to 20 pitches?
And we were sitting there saying, all right, Vinny looked good. Wait till he gets through the lineup once. When he comes back around, Vinny's going to start getting tagged. And what
Yeah,
happened?
but after McCutcheon gets a grand slam, you go up 9-5, and then you go up again, and like Hector can't. And I've defended Hector. I'm done with defending
You're
Hector.
done with.
Girardi should have freaking. I don't even know who the closer should be.
They don't
have
they
one.
don't have one.
They don't have
Exactly.
one.
They
That's the
don't
problem.
have one.
Maybe Vinny. He only
Yeah,
needs to get
Vinny.
through the lineup once.
Could Bradley was supposed to be the real
Bradley
deal.
sucks.
Yeah, I know.
There's a reason why the Reds or Diamondbacks, where he came from, didn't offer him a
Just gave him
contract.
up.
You're seeing it now.
Yeah, Joe White says Girardi's made some questionable decisions. He's been making questionable decisions.
Dude,
Both
he's been
seasons.
riding the coattail
Both
that
seasons.
Yankees championship.
Yes,
Because
and look at the
you-
team that he had.
I was gonna say you could manage, but then that's disrespecting you. Seriously, like
Deke
he
could manage. I
hasn't
think
been
he could've done
good.
it.
He hasn't been good. And like I'm at the point where I get rid of Hoskins at the I get rid of Hoskins at the deadline. Nola, all of them.
Nola?
Yeah.
Why not?
Nola's been a big disappointment this year.
The whole
Serious
team has been
disappointment.
kind of a disappointment, right?
Yes, the whole
We're
team.
being
yes.
honest with ourselves.
Yes.
Uh,
And starting with Girardi all the way down
I
to
mean,
the 25th guy on the bench.
yeah.
there's guys out on the field like I didn't even know were on the team. Last night. I didn't even know who Brad
What
Miller was.
Veerling?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah, he came in at one point. I'm like, who is this guy?
Yep.
But Brad
Yeah,
Miller,
They have no farm system.
no, they don't, and that's a big.
That's
issue.
why I think I would trade Hoskins and Nola. Rebuild your farm system. Somebody will give you something for Nola.
rebuild the farm system and just
Not giving up
See,
Wheeler.
now you start doing this, and then Bryce just say, "All right, guys, let me go. Let me go."
I mean, it
somewhere."
depends what you get back.
Well, Bryce is 28.
But you
Think-
think eventually he's going to be like, I'm done?
Yes, because if he gets into his 30s and they're still trying to rebuild,
He's
retool,
13
whatever,
years.
Welcome to
He's
Philadelphia.
he's going to ask out, and I don't blame him.
I don't know who takes that contract with his production. This
Well,
year.
that's the problem. He's
part of the problem, too.
Absolutely, he's certainly not lived up to that contract.
What is it? 1 or 2 years?
13.
13.
No. This how long has he been on it? Like how long has he been?
I
he's
think
in
this
year
is his
3?
third year.
Yes,
Yeah,
is this his third? Is
He's
10
this,
got
more
10
years
10
left.
after this.
doesn't he have like a no trade
Yes.
thing in it?
Yes.
So for baseball, is that him can stop the trade, or they can't trade him at all?
They have
No,
to
he
get
has to
his
give a
okay.
list.
Okay.
He- If they approach him and say, "Hey, Bryce, let's talk about trading you," he can either say, "I have a no trade clause," or he can hand them a list of teams he's willing to go to.
Okay, so he can still. I thought when I remember hearing it, that was a big thing that he wanted in the contract, that he wasn't planning on going anywhere.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Like he was putting his flag in
Make
the,
him
in the
roots here.
ground. Yeah.
Yep.
And he wasn't going anywhere.
Yep. Correct.
Yeah, that's kind of a publicity stunt in my eyes.
Yeah, he knows how to play the Philly.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm committed. I'm going to be here. I'm going to be a part
Do you
of
think
this.
he's going to ask out eventually?
If you're
If-
not winning,
If it,
Eventually.
yes.
I mean, they've done everything he's asked for. They signed his boy Ray Muta. Like,
Yeah, but-
he's
but-
got to produce too.
if it gets to be where he's 31, 32, maybe 33, and the Phillies are still a middling team looking to rebuild,
But like
why stay?
They go into the trade deadline here, and they're getting rid of Hoskins. They're getting rid of 2 pitchers. They're getting. I think Bryce is going to be like, guys.
Don't you, so here's the thing.
This isn't
I
helping
think you
me.
get rid of Hoskins. It ain't that big of a deal because you could move Bohm the first, and then you could go out and sign one of the Trevor Story or Correa to play third, or move Didi to third for a year. Like, I'm not sold on Hoskins. And Nola, I mean, it depends.
Nolan was a
replace him.
Wheeler. I'm not giving up.
Yeah, but I'm about Nola.
But
Is
you
it
probably
just
get a
this year,
shit ton for Wheeler.
or has it been multiple years with Nola?
No, this is the first bad year with him.
Yeah, because I feel like he's been an ace ever before that, right?
Yeah,
He's been a solid
close.
Want to be
He's been a
ace.
solid 2.
Yeah, he's not top tier ace level.
No.
But
But he's an ace.
Yes, he's for the Phillies. He's
Well, obviously.
You can't caveat it with.
Would you-
Phillies.
But I'm
Would you
saying
enter-
the earlier years before, though, didn't he have ace like number one pitcher
yes,
numbers?
Yes.
Would you
this year for some reason he's
off.
I don't know.
Yeah.
what
So
he
why
is.
were we talking about throwing him away? Because
I'm
he
not
won
talking.
years?
I'm talking about if you can get like to rebuild that farm system because that's what you need to do.
Okay.
But I'm wondering about Wheeler. Like, is this the high? I mean, I don't want to give him up, but like, look at his numbers. You're going to get like a ton back
He's
from
like
him,
almost in Cy Young talk, right?
right?
He's close.
Like, would
He's in that.
you get like a king's ransom from him?
I haven't looked at the standings. How bad is the East still?
I think we're 4.5.
Yeah, something like that.
So it's
We got
like,
4
we're
against
gonna-
the Mets. So
they're
when we
4
sweep the
and the
Mets this
Mets-
weekend,
The
We're
Mets still
4
have a
games
bunch
under
of
500.
the Mets still have a bunch of games to make up too, right?
Yes,
COVID.
yes,
So
they're yes.
so this series this weekend. I think we would all agree they got to win 3 out of 4 against the Mets.
Absolutely. Yeah,
2 out of 4 don't
if
cut
they
it.
want to be anything remotely close to a serious contender, they have to beat 3 out of 4. And they
In New York,
they need to win the division games and especially against the Mets because right now they're their front runners.
all right. So big series coming up this weekend against the Mets.
are they going to take 3 out of
Keep an eye
4?
on the Phils.
No,
How
they'll
many-
be, they'll be
they're gonna
lucky to
get 1
go
out
2
of
and
4?
2. They'll be lucky to go 2 out of 2 or 2 out of 4.
Doubleheader Saturday?
I don't know.
I guess.
I think there's a
Yeah, it
doubleheader
has
this
to be
weekend.
because if it's 4 games.
So who do we have going?
3
We got
unless they do
Nola.
a wraparound Friday to Monday.
We got Nola, Wheeler, Eflin. What are they going to do? Throw Matt Moore in? He's back. Who the hell?
Yeah,
no,
they
who's
don't
still
have anybody
4th?
else. I think it is Matt Moore.
Or is it Chase Anderson? Or is he still in COVID? I don't even know. Who the hell is the 5 pitchers? Oh, Spencer Howard will give you 2 innings.
Yeah,
brutal.
it's
Welcome to Philly. Welcome. To
we need the
Philly.
Eagles to make
you-
some type of
did
big
you-
splash.
Did you see what I put in the thread for you? The license plate. I'm sad.
Oh, yeah,
It
yeah.
was a
I
Philly-
saw you,
the
yeah.
Philly Sport Week or what it's like to be a Philly fan.
Dude, it's
Something
been,
like that.
it's horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible week for Philly sports.
Joe White says Moore's game 2 tomorrow.
Moore's game 2.
Yeah.
So wait, the doubleheader.
Oh, the doubleheader's tomorrow.
Oh,
All right.
God.
Wow, another afternoon. Two afternoon games in 1 week.
Yeah.
Nice.
Matt Moore.
Back to the 50s.
Watch Matt Moore throw a no-hitter tomorrow.
It was the 50th anniversary.
I
of
will
Rick
definitely
Weiss.
bet a 6-pack on that.
Hell
not
no,
happening.
Deke. No way. I ain't going there.
That'll be done by the second inning, maybe.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All right, we got any Eagles talk? Any quick Eagles talk before we wrap it up?
Kelly Green coming back.
Kelly
Yeah,
Green
I like
coming back
that.
next
I'm,
year?
Yeah.
I'm waiting for them to sign another corner.
That's what I
They're
was looking
gonna.
at
Steven
Brother.
most
Nelson.
likely gonna. Yeah.
Yeah, they've been
Steve
saying
Nelson.
that, but they
What did you hear? You told me yesterday they were what? They were talking with
They
him?
were like $2 million off from getting Steven Nelson. Like they were really close to getting him.
yeah, I think I did read that. I don't
You have reliable sources. You have inside sources.
tell them you can't
Hopefully
reveal
they're
your
not like
sources,
DJ
Brody.
or Flan sources.
But like
'Cause
the
their
whole,
sources are brutal.
They have not come through. We have Machado and Harper.
Yeah.
And,
wait, they said both?
yeah.
Oh God,
What was Flan's last one?
Julia.
Julio
is
yes.
definitely going to be on the Eagles. I do have a source of a source
Oh,
that talked to someone close to the Eagles that said the Eagles are not sold on Hurts.
Yeah, I heard that.
They
Duh.
are not sold on Hurts, right? And they really, really like Watson. But the asking price is too much.
Well, there's not. Well, I mean, there's too many massage parlors in Philly. That's the problem.
I like Hurts, but if we could get Watson,
I'm all for it.
dump him.
But
Get
are you
rid of
giving up?
Wentz.
Are you
He's
giving up
got issues that he needs to be wiped clean first.
Which isn't good coming to Philly.
I'll give you the 3.
No.
He'll be going to Chinatown. We'll catch him in there.
I'll give you the 3, and you give me a 2 back.
3 first-rounders?
Hell no.
I'll give up all 3 for
No.
3 first-round picks. You can take Hurts with him, and you give me a second this year and maybe like a third next year.
So
But you're giving all 3 for
here's the
next year?
thing.
I'm giving all
I'll
3
give
for
I'll
Watson.
give 3 first-round picks. I'm not giving all 3
Not
for
all
next
1
year.
year.
So here's the
I'll give
thing.
you
Yeah.
2 for next year. I'll give you
Didn't-
Hurts, and I'll give you number 1 in 2022.
I know
Or
I'm like
2023.
I know I'm like the biggest person in Jalen Hurts fan club. But when we were just talking about the Sixers, didn't we talk about somebody that like we want that like works his tail off, wants to get better? Like I think that's Jalen Hurts. I think you give him a year. Let's see what he has. I'm not saying he's going to be great, but if he happens to be like average or better than average, you have 3 first-round picks next year to surround him with more talent.
That's what I think.
Like I don't think you get rid of Jalen Hurts, and I know that like people are out there being like,
But he's got to show.
he's got
improvement.
to. I agree, but there's nobody that works harder at its craft if you look than him.
And
I don't think his is a show.
Weapons this year,
Right,
too.
right.
And I think a big key is
I
the
mean,
offensive
Devontae
line.
Smith.
The
Right.
offensive line's
Yeah.
got to stay healthy. Has to.
I think that's what it is this year. I think they're gonna. He's got a year to prove himself,
Mhm.
and this gives them this. Look, if Deshaun gets all his legal issues fixed, and Houston says, "Look, we're going to give you the 1 year to play,"
I just think
get your resume up.
I don't know,
show
man.
people what you got, and
He's
then
not.
they'll
He's
make
not.
the trade.
He's not playing. He's not playing for them.
You don't think he's going to go back
I
at
don't
all?
think. I don't think.
he
I don't-
has to, don't you think?
No.
I know he
If he
doesn't-
sits on the bench, and I definitely don't want to trade him after a year of not
Absolutely.
playing.
They turned their back. They're back on him. He's done.
I don't think he wants to go back there. But if there's
if he's
no
on
team
the
is willing to
market,
trade for him,
I think we've all heard this before. I think we've heard announcers say it before. I think we've heard pros say it before, and I think even you guys said it before. Well, let's just reiterate it. If your guy is out there, especially the quarterback, you go get him. You go get him. Deshaun Watson is what, 23 years old?
No, he's older than that. isn't
Nah,
he?
he's
He has to be older.
he's not much older.
He's name what, 25?
25 if that.
Yeah, 25 years old. They're playing into their 40.
Right, this is only his 4th year.
Yeah, this is like you go get
He
him.
was yeah.
You go get him, man. He is a different type of cat.
No injuries.
Yeah, but
But what?
I can't look at. Listen, there's smoke, there's fire. You can't tell me that he didn't do it. Like, I'm sorry, dude. 15, 16 women. All right, if it was 1, 2, 3, fine. I don't touch them.
Some of these guys, man, they got their outlets. I mean, he is who he is.
He's got
You
16
saying
out.
that's gonna affect
Bob-
his play?
Bob Kraft did it, and he still owns a team. So
Let's give Hurts a year.
Yeah.
Let's see what he does.
I want him to get a year.
If you give Hurts a year
I just want to see what he does for a year.
and he doesn't do anything, or he's not what you expect.
Well, I think then that's why you have the 3 first-round picks. You can either move up in the draft or you can go the route of a trade. I'm fine with that, but let's give the kid a
So-
year.
Yeah,
But
he
you're-
deserves
you're-
a year.
you're trading off the opportunity to get Watson. Then, right? You're saying you're out completely on Watson, because if you give Hurts the year, I don't know that somebody's going to trade for Watson. Right?
Of
If
course.
his legal stuff gets fixed, somebody's going to
Absolutely.
trade for him. So you're not going to trade for Watson and have him sit on the bench for a year. You're going to trade for Watson. He's going to play, which means Hurts got to go.
I'm fine with that.
I'm going to tell you right
that-
now, Watson. If Watson plays this year, it's going to be for the Texans. They're not going to trade him before the beginning of the year.
If he tells him he's not playing,
I think he's got his own legal issues. What team's going to touch him until that's all done?
Every team looking for a quarterback.
And I think we're going to know by Halloween. Forget the whole year. We'll know by Halloween.
What's your thoughts
Let
on
me
Hurts?
well, we're getting a lot of
think we'll know
Smitty for
by
president.
Halloween.
yeah, right.
Smitty for president. Smitty for president.
That's right.
Yeah.
Smitty for president. But let me ask you this, Smitty for president. Let me ask you this question. Where do you have Watson as ranked in your QB rankings? Where do you put him?
Fantasy or reality?
Reality.
I mean, so in
They're not far off.
They're not far off.
in the massage power rankings, he's definitely number one.
But in NFL
Top-
rankings,
Only
Top-
because he's younger than Bob Kraft.
I would say top. I would say he's definitely in the top 10 to 12. I don't know if he's top 10. I think it's close.
Top,
Can
like
you give me
6
10?
or 7?
Give me 10. Give me 10 quarterbacks right now. You would take over Deshaun Watson.
Brady,
No.
Over Deshaun right
You wouldn't
now?
take Brady right now.
Rodgers,
No, Rodgers.
I give you Rodgers. Go ahead. We got one.
You can
Herbert.
No.
no.
Go ahead, but I give you Rodgers.
He's a Herbert fan too. I'm
I
surprised.
like Herbert, but you can't take.
I'll
Herbert
give you
over
Rodgers.
Watson.
Go ahead,
You
Smitty, for
won't,
president.
you won't
Here.
give me Brady. I would
Rodgers?
take Brady.
I'm not
No.
giving you
Okay,
Brady.
let's
So
play
what are
with
you
him.
saying? Are you saying he's top 5?
I think he's top 5.
Yeah, top.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, you might be right. I think I'm worried about the issues because I'm like thinking it's Philly. They'll trade for him, and then more shit will come out, and then we're
Are
really
you
screwed.
serious? We'll be in awe if he comes to Philly.
No, I'm saying more troubles will follow.
Oh,
like
he
our
won't-
luck is
he won't be able
we'll
to play.
trade for him, and then now he's gonna get arrested
Man,
for
the
a second.
dirtbags in this city, we would love him. Are you serious? We would love
I
him.
mean, 3 1s is a lot.
But he's a
They're
top
asking-
5 quarterback in
Apparently
his
they're asking for
prime.
4. That's the problem. They're
How you
asking
fit him
for
Oh,
under that
4.
cap? You're already paying for Wentz. Don't you have to wait at least a year
I
anyway?
think that's part of the problem too. But let Howie figure that out.
Yeah, I think they can
that
figure
means
that
you
out.
trade Fletch, right? You trade Fletcher Cox. That's the biggest dollars if you really want Deshaun.
Josh Allen, right? Top 10.
No,
I'm not
easy.
taking him over Deshaun though.
Easy. That's a wash for me.
Patrick Mahomes, obviously.
Mahomes-
Mahomes, obviously.
Mahomes has got to be number 1.
I
Right?
would take
Rodgers,
Allen over
Mahomes.
Watson.
Rodgers, Russ.
Or not Allen.
That's
Ru-
3.
Do you think that's another person that could become available, right, Russ?
He ain't going nowhere.
No,
He
he's-
just
Nah.
wants
That
to
was
get
all
paid.
just.
He
Yeah,
just
that's
wants
just
to get
tough.
paid.
I'd take Watson over Allen.
He's
too.
not better than Prescott. I mean, he is better than Prescott, I would say. I
Yeah,
meant.
Watson.
Oh, for sure.
God,
Yeah.
Paul Spencer. I was just talking like
Are you
the villain.
serious?
No, I was saying he is better.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I'm trying to think. You might be right. Maybe he is.
He's. I think he's top 5.
I think
Yeah.
he's top 5.
And there's
Top 5.
only
He's close. He's definitely
2
top
off the
10. He's
top of
close
my
to
head.
5. I got.
I
I
might give you Allen over him. I might give you Allen because Allen
Allen
showed
had one good year.
Allen's got a bigger arm, but other than that, I don't.
he showed up last year. He showed me more than what he is last year.
Yeah,
but,
once.
but Watson has nobody, right? He has nobody. And he's putting up.
Whoa, we had Will Fuller, North Catholic great Will Fuller.
Oh God.
Will Fuller.
When he was on the field, he was
Yeah.
great.
graduated Roman.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like he really had no help. And you look at Allen's team last year, right? They
So
had a
3-1s, you're telling me, and Hurts.
I would give
I
that
was
up,
4-1s is what. Apparently, that's why it's too much.
or I would give 2-1s in Fletch.
Fletcher Cox.
Absolutely.
We have. We do
Yeah,
have
but I
a
don't
lot
think
of-
the Texans will take that. But
Why
Well,
not?
they
Fletch
just lost.
is at the top 3 defensive tackle.
no, I know, but he's up there. Like they're not going to win anytime soon,
Well-
right? I mean, maybe Hurts and 2-2s or 2-1s or 3-1s, but I'm not giving up all 3 that
I
after
don't know
next
if 3
year.
Yeah, we
one
need
year.
at
Like
least one.
Nate, can you give me like a 2021 one, right? The Eagles one. I'm not giving up the Dolphins because I think the Dolphins are going to stink. And then maybe a 2023 one and a 2022 two.
See, to me, if you could,
I mean, who do you really think's gonna? Who has the?
if you include Fletch in the deal, I think that's way too much because I still think Fletch is a top defensive tackle.
Yeah.
I
Right.
agree with you, but
Yeah.
he's
So-
up there,
So,
and
but
he's doing another contract, right?
he's up there, but I mean, I think he's still a top 5 defensive tackle in the league. He's still a threat. You know, so and he could be that JJ Watt kind of like fill-in that that was. He doesn't have to play in the middle. He can put like he would be a problem in that 3-4.
Do you
right?
also think that like? I mean, I know teams need quarterbacks, but like, are we bidding against ourselves if we give them 4-1? Like, who can top that offer of the Eagles? Like, if you think about it, who's out there that
Probably not. 'cause
That's a good point.
that can
Nobody
top the
can
offer.
Nobody can
like
top
we got
that offer.
3-1s. We could even put in Miles Sanders as much as I want to, like a young running back.
Yeah,
Like, but like, who out there has the ammo that the Eagles have? And I don't want to outbid ourselves. Like you
Yeah,
talk about
right.
Miami, what are they going to give us? Tua? They don't have a first round this year. Like New England just drafted Mac Jones.
Yeah, I was just gonna say all the teams that suck
Like
just
I
got the
almost
quarterbacks,
Nate.
right?
Like I think you could probably like
If you-
Houston put Houston in a spot where like it's like, look, dude, like I'll give you 2-1s and
That's the
Hurts,
best you're
but like
getting.
that's all you're getting, or this guy can sit. Like Chicago just got a quarterback in Fields, right? So
Yeah.
they don't need one.
Jets got a quarterback.
Jets have a quarterback. Maybe
Yeah.
the Panthers, right? They could probably go after it because they only have Denard or whatever, Darnold.
They just got
Yeah, they
Darnold,
just
though.
traded
Never gonna
for
get
him.
him.
Right.
Jets.
But I mean, like, who out there is like dying to get a quarterback
Right.
that can give us more? So why give them 4-1s?
Broncos.
Play hard to get until you get Broncos? Yeah, Broncos
Broncos
are
usually a
Broncos are good
Yeah,
ones.
But people are saying Rodgers will go there. I at this point, I think Rodgers might stay.
Rodgers is just looking to get paid.
He's looking to get paid.
He just.
But what I'm
At
saying
this
is,
point.
I don't want to outbid ourselves when we don't need to. He
Yeah.
could fall into our laps for 2 1s.
Here's,
I
here's
agree.
2 1s. Here's Hurts and here's Ertz. Take it or leave it.
Yeah, and I pull the trigger
Yeah.
because I think Watson is that good, and you're gonna have him for 10 years.
I
What
look,
happens if
you
they
can do
told
that?
you Hurts a 1 and Devontae Smith?
No,
No.
No.
You
Good
can't
answer.
get it.
I was just making sure. No, I was just making sure
You
Nate
can't
wasn't.
get rid-
Nate wasn't.
Did
I
you
don't
just
want.
say Smitty? He got impeached on that. He just got impeached. on
No,
that
I
comment.
wouldn't do it. I'm saying to you because you guys are all about Watson. Would you
No.
give up Devontae Smith
No.
to get him?
No,
Okay,
no.
good.
The guy hasn't
glad.
done anything yet. Give him a chance.
He just got here. You know what I
Really?
mean? But
So you would give up Rager?
Sure.
Yeah, that I
Yeah,
would
sure.
do.
yeah, I would give
Yes.
up Rager for
We're
sure.
not throwing in Greg Ward though. We're
Well, he's a
Boston Scott.
Houston boy. That
All
could
he
make a
does
difference.
is catch the ball.
Give him Travis Fulgham.
No.
And I would give him Brooks too. I'd throw Brooks in there. Brooks been hurt. He's been hurt a lot.
But we
don't.
need linemen.
But that's a lot
Yeah.
of money too. I don't know if that'll work on that.
But
side.
but Brody, he's
You
been
might be
hurt.
able to give him the tackle that
True,
they
but-
drafted. You might be able to
Yeah,
give him Dilliard or
Dillard.
Mailata. That's a good point too, Nate.
I'm not
You
giving
could-
up my lot.
No, but you could give up Dillard,
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll give
yeah,
up
get
Dillard.
rid-
Texas
Dillard.
A&M guy. Give him up.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
they,
you're
they
right,
have the pieces to do it.
So
and
then they should sit still until like
yeah,
Houston, like until somebody blows their offer out of the water. That's what I'm saying. Don't give 4-1s if you don't have to.
no,
Here's the
I
thing.
think Jim was saying that the asking price is 4. I'm not saying give up 4,
Oh, okay.
but I would
Yeah,
give
that's what
up.
Houston wants.
But if I don't want to give up any of my players, then I would give up all 3, and I would take Watson and a 2 back. I'm okay with taking 2 2s back.
How many years does he have left on his contract? I know he just signed
he
one.
just signed one. He signed one before his rookie
Yeah.
expired.
So he's got at least 3 or
got
4?
like 4 or 5 left.
Yeah, for sure, for
But,
sure.
But Deke, you said wait till Halloween. The problem with that is at Halloween you're only trading draft picks. You're not trading players. Other than maybe you'll trade like an Ertz if he's still here, but you're not gonna trade Jalen at Halloween.
No, what I said is we will know the answer about
To
Hurts
his-
by Halloween.
Oh,
Whether
Hurts. All right, I thought you meant the Sean. Okay.
no, whether he's a player or not.
Do you think he is?
I don't know. It's 4 games.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And it's a totally different offense. I don't know what the hell
Yeah,
Sirianni's
you got
going
a
to
whole
do.
new coaching staff coming
Right.
in.
We have no idea.
And
Yeah.
he started out really well and then ended up not so much.
I think they are committed to him. Like they brought in an offensive coordinator who's got connections to Hurts. Like for this year, I'm not saying beyond
I
this
mean,
year.
they're going to help them, right? They're going to want to
Yeah.
develop them and
Right.
see,
Yeah, it's
and
in
see what
their
they have.
it's in their own best interest to help the kid
Yeah.
as much as they
It's
can.
making me mad that they're trying to help now after Wentz is gone.
Well, that
That's
was. I think
annoying
that
me.
was different, right? With Doug, that was a different kind of dynamic.
Yeah, I was going to
Oh,
say
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I think that. I mean, I don't have a problem with giving Hurts a chance. But my thing is, if somebody's out there that's better, and it's like night and day better, which I think it is, then I'm pulling the trigger. We're like a lot of us already feel that we're not going to be good, right?
Yeah.
So
I think we'll be.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
We
I'm
had
not,
him in the playoffs.
That's
dude,
that-
I'm
that's
not
that
sure.
innocence.
I feel like they could be like an 8 and 8, 8 and
Yeah.
9. I don't think they're going to be as bad as everybody thinks. I really
yeah,
don't.
me too.
I don't. I think their offense is pretty good. Like you
Yes.
talk
They're
about.
going to have to steal a couple games to get to 8.
Yeah, but
Look at their-
what's on offense that you like?
well, I like Miles Sanders. I think he's a good running
Oh,
back.
yeah.
I think Devontae Smith will be good. I like Dallas
especially
Goddard.
since. Oh yeah. Goddard's
I
great.
hope
But
that
are any of those players you just named Pro Bowl players?
Miles Sanders was according to the PlayStation vote.
So that would be
No.
a negative.
I think Devontae Smith has star potential, but you're right. I think Goddard, given a chance, could be
Could
just
be.
as
That's what I was
productive
gonna
as
say.
Hurts.
Yeah.
It depends on Hurts.
Yeah.
If Hurts is a good,
Yeah,
is
he-
a decent
he-
quarterback, he can
he
make
hasn't-
Goddard.
I mean,
he hasn't had the chance to be that go-to guy because Ertz has been in his way.
I just worry it's all new. It's all.
I think
new. That's
Ertz
the
might
thing.
even be here.
like players.
I mean, it's possible right now, right? Ertz. I know he doesn't want to be here, but what's he going to do? Is he not going to play?
Possible.
He'll play. He'll play.
Right. That's what I
Yeah,
think
he'll
too.
play.
I
No, he'll
agree
play.
with
He's
you.
not that type. He'll
Right.
play.
Yeah, he'll play.
He won't like it, but he'll play.
Yeah, well, he played last year. And you see what it got it.
Yeah, half-ass
Played it
effort.
and moped the whole time and
Right.
didn't do shit for the season. So, but he'll do the same thing this year.
Hey, Brody, do you get that swear jug when we're out? Like that thing should
That's
be.
what I said.
No,
You should.
that's
Yeah, but it
collective
hasn't
for-
been any like extreme swears. No F bombs tonight,
Okay,
right?
but
It's
This
not,
should
it's not a
be-
swear jug. It's a Carson Wentz jug.
And
Oh,
Ben
oh,
Simmons. That's right.
And Ben Simmons.
Oh,
This
okay, I'm
should be
sorry.
filled up
Yeah.
right now.
Right now, that Ben Simmons jar, I mean, there's a lot of dollars off to the side. Looks like we're shooting 418 from the swear jar.
If we complain about Ben shooting or Carson Wentz not being here, money goes in the
Yes.
jar.
Exactly.
Doesn't
Oh,
anybody
I
think
see.
about like us being cursed? Like you think about it, like number 11, right? Because I'm not trying to. Number 11 and number 25. Like we thought we had a generational quarterback, and we thought we had it.
We
You
did
know.
have a generational quarterback.
And then like Ben coming into play, like, but it's just like it seems like we're cursed. Like you look at like even Markel Fultz. I don't know if I said it to you guys. Remember those summer league highlights? I'm like, that dude had to have had some type of accident, like motorcycle accident or something. You don't just mess up your shot. But like we draft the most mentally soft players in Philadelphia, and I don't get it. I don't
There's been
understand.
4 number 1 picks
Jaleel
since
Okafor was
2015.
soft too.
since 2015. Ben, Fultz, Carson, and Mickey Moniak.
Oh God, Mickey
And,
Moniak
and all while Moniak's
and
not
Adam
playing,
Hazley. He had to go to the.
Yeah. Ben's the only one
Playing.
I'll-
Still with us.
up at the
And
the-
Nolan
the-
Patrick. Don't forget about him. Number 2. He was terrible
I said
too.
Yeah.
number 1 picks. Number 1.
Yeah, but
Wow.
Wow.
That's real.
well, Carson was number 2.
Yeah.
That's right. He was. Wasn't
Yeah,
he?
So
Carson was
I'm
number 2.
throwing Nolan Patrick into the mix.
Wow.
We're looking at everybody's faces, even Brody's face. It's like, yo, I was alive for this.
It's just
Yeah,
amazing.
but he's got a championship
it's just
way
am-
before we did.
It's just amazing, like how many misses we have. Like you look at the process, right? Noah, like Okafor sucked, right? Fultz was a mental midget head case. Simmons, we don't know now. Embiid, we had to wait basically 2 years to play.
I feel bad for Okafor though.
It was all
Okafor was just bad timing.
Yeah,
He wa-
I
he
mean,
was
yeah,
super young. He was 18 years old.
right.
Right. Putting in a
Yeah.
man's game. And then you got
And then you got
Joel-
drafted here with Noel and Embiid. It was
Yeah,
like the
and then-
Monstars.
Right. And then Embiid comes right behind you and just makes
Yeah.
you look small.
But even whenever he went somewhere else, he didn't look any better. You know.
He looked okay in other words. He
was
was
he still in the league?
yeah, he's still in the league. He's serving.
No, I thought I saw him at LA Fitness the other day.
He's serviceable off the bench. He's not a starter.
No.
but he's serviceable about off the
Right,
bench.
but I'm talking about Nate, like the fact of all those lottery picks
yeah,
you
yeah,
got.
for sure.
You walk
For
away
sure,
with
for
nothing. Like
sure.
the process, like
But the part of the process was having all those picks.
right,
Right.
Hoping that
Talent
which I guess
acquisition.
it turned into
you got
superstar.
5. If one of them turns out,
That was
Good.
Hinky's whole philosophy.
Yeah,
The more picks
so like
we have,
Nerlens isn't bad right now. Nerlens is a serviceable center for the Knicks.
Actually, yeah, he's going to get paid this
Right?
offseason
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, but we knew what New Orleans Noels was when he came here,
Yeah.
right? We knew what he was. So I mean, he's doing well. It's just like they all go do well better after they leave here.
That's
You know what I mean?
my dad commented earlier that we always end up on the wrong side of the trade.
So that
Yeah.
doesn't that worry any of you guys that
Usually-
like Ben's going to go somewhere and like just it's going to click and he's going to figure it out
yeah.
But you know what? What? No use crying over spilled milk, right? I sound like
Right.
Nate throwing out
until
the old-
CJ
Yeah, the old-
McCollum's like 3 of 30 from the
Yeah,
Don't.
if he goes somewhere else and he's better,
It is what it is.
great.
Yeah, then-
Well, you
Good
guys
for
all
him.
think he's staying, right?
Yeah.
I
Yes.
think he's going to be here.
Yeah.
Is that bet on the line? Like, are we doing that? Like,
Yeah, that's fine. I don't have a problem bringing in Pops. And actually, I'm going to add 2
he probably has them
Listen,
already.
No, I don't, but I'm going to add 2 pizzas, so I'm feed everybody too.
There you
If
go.
Ben's
I like
here,
it. I
I'm a
like
good
it.
guy like that, right? Come
All
on,
right. I like it.
Smitty for president.
We
Buying
need to
those
get the
votes.
closers. We
Yo.
need to get the coasters that say
Yeah,
Smitty for president.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I don't need that, but I mean, I just don't. I think it's at the path of no end. Like I feel like it's a number 11 situation. I don't want
You
it to
can
be.
say the name.
I don't.
It's not like calling on the devil. You can say the name.
It's the Ginger Jesus
It's
situation.
It's almost like calling on the devil.
Yeah, I mean, God.
All right. Well, I think we can wrap it up.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
Yeah.
This is good.
It was
for
good.
tonight.
For sure.
The only sport we have now through the summer
The
is
union
baseball.
Is the Phils.
No, I said the only sport we have now is baseball.
The Olympics.
We'll still be in here. We'll find plenty to talk about.
Union?
We've got
Yep.
lots of topics in our back pocket that
For sure.
we always
And
want to pull out.
we always manage to bring guests and whatnot in and talk some oddball topics like we always do.
Yes, that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
We
Summer,
haven't-
summer comes along.
We haven't had a good derailment in a while.
We still have to have our greatest. All right, both of you guys. We haven't asked you this. Greatest American rock band.
American rock band.
American rock band, not greatest rock band. Greatest
Oh,
American
God.
rock band.
You talking to me?
I said both of you. You got one? Come on.
Greatest American. Because I was gonna say Rolling Stones. They ain't so.
No,
the
no,
only
they're-
thing I can think of when I was younger that people loved and they weren't too bad in my ear was Nirvana, but I don't know.
I was gonna say Pearl Jam.
Pearl Jam. All right. All right. I got
Metallica?
A little
I got
team
it.
spirit.
Van Halen?
Van Halen. I still got my
Was
list.
that in like the 60s?
Metallica.
No. Late 70s through the mid 80s. Beat it.
Greatest American rock band.
Yeah, so that's a conversation we wanted to have
Yeah.
Yeah.
at some point. We'll get our.
We also need to have top 10 like villains that we
villains
hate.
hate the
That
face,
we hate,
slap 'em in
like
the
in all
faces.
sports.
And don't
Yeah.
forget, you guys got college football right around the corner. I think
That's
Joseph
right,
White
we
just signed
are. We are, Jim.
PSU football.
We're gonna be
so
all right. We're gonna be all right.
We all
So,
right?
Yeah, I think so.
Always things to talk about here at Santa Boo
Yep.
first, man.
Pleasure to talk
High
to
school football, St. Joe's Prep.
There
yeah.
you go.
How much are they
There you
paying high
go.
school kids to go to their
Don't
school?
go there
Over
because-
Wood?
Because everybody recruits and everybody pays for all the
Listen,
sports.
everybody at Archbishop Wood lives in the Warminster area. Didn't you know that?
No.
Except for the basketball players
No.
are all living in North Philly.
Yeah, they don't. The football players don't live in Warminster either.
Hey,
Don't-
that
don't go
dropped
there.
you off the Honda Odyssey yesterday. How come you got this M5 today dropping you off? Where'd that come from? Dad get a raise?
No, the
And-
the
and
Catholic League's full of
there's
recruiting for sure
No
across the board.
no school other than Ryan had a pipeline to Lithuania. So I don't want to hear about how
Please find the
they did. They had like 3 Lithuanian players in a row, and,
and
they
they
were all
still
really
can't.
good.
And they still can't
They
win
still
though.
suck?
The Catholic League.
But dude, they won. They went to the state championship game
And when was this?
When was that? 1978.
Last year.
No, it was in PJ.
last year.
Oh, they had the Lithuania.
They
Or
went
no,
to the-
actually, this season. This
They
past
went-
season.
They went.
They lost to Erie Cathedral Prep in the championship game.
Erie Cathedral powerhouse.
They are in football. They
Yes, they are in football.
I don't.
Prep won in football this year, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
last year, the year before,
Yeah.
the year before.
Trying to shut his mic off.
Yeah, right.
Wood gets paybacks this year.
Can we talk crew? Can we talk crew?
No,
We're not a state powerhouse in crew. We're a
He just got me that.
Yeah. he just- all right. Yeah.
Once we start talking about crew,
Right,
the
it's over.
show
It's
ends.
national powerhouse in crew. Thank you very much.
We just lost all 7 of our watchers.
We're a national powerhouse in crew.
That's what we're gonna have a show on.
Yeah.
Deke, you're gonna bring in a bunch of crew guys from
Yeah,
Prep.
We'll sit that
We'll
one out.
get one
Smitty.
watcher. It'll be Deke.
We'll sit that one out, Smitty. That'll be the bye week for us.
Yeah, that'll be our bye week for sure.
All right. Folks.
All right.
Thanks for hanging out with us again tonight on another beautiful Thursday evening here with the Santa Boot First crew. We'll see you here next week. Let's go, Phils, and be excellent to each other.
we'll end it off nice.
Nice.
On the road to victory. Fight, Eagles, fight. Score a touchdown, 1, 2, 3.